Yes, two proud clubs squaring off in the finals for the first time, with the Melbourne Victory hosting the Perth Glory in a battle between third and sixth from the home and away season. It's the start of 3 weeks of thrilling cutthroat action in the new look finals format, with the equation simple: win and you move on, lose and your season is over. The one stat that Glory fans won't want to hear is that they've never won here at Etihad Stadium in 6 attempts. 4 losses and 2 draws for the men from the West. And Archie Thompson at the scene of his greatest triumph, those 5 goals in a grand final. And Shane Smeltz wearing the headband tonight after having 15 stitches removed from a head wound during the week that he picked up on international duty for New Zealand against New Caledonia. The roof open on a beautiful night in the sporting capital, currently 20 degrees and a nice breeze around as well. Ange Postecoglou undefeated in all 6 of his previous A-League finals, including those 2 championships with Brisbane. And he's up against a fellow graduate of the Australian youth coaching setup, Ali Edwards, who's guided the Glory from bottom of the table into the top 6 with 4 wins in 7 games since succeeding Ian Ferguson. Our referee tonight, Jared Gillett, the controversial figure in Perth's last final, of course, the grand final of last season, but they do boast 3 wins in 7 games under tonight's whistleblower away from home. So 3 weeks of A-League finals underway here at Etihad Stadium. The Victory hosting the Glory. 2 teams that often combine for goals. Robbie Slaty, do you expect an open final?
Well, I expect the opening from Perth to be a little bit cagey. We know Perth, and you mentioned the fact how often in games they score early, so they'll want to try and settle and take the sting out of the Glory, of course, out of the Victory, sorry. But of course they met in round 26, a very different scenario this evening with the big guns back for Melbourne. They had no Archie Thompson, no Rojas and no Mark Milligan that evening when Perth ran out 3-2 winners with a late wonderful strike from Josh Risdon. But nerves are going to play a part. Sudden death, season over for the loser, and the winner goes on. And there's a lot of players out there with big game experience, particularly on Victory side, none more so than Archie Thompson, most successful player in Hyundai A-League history, including 5 goals here in a grand final.
Vukovic finding Jamison via the aerial route. Wasn't meant for Smeltz, but it's worked out beautifully here for the Glory. Here's Zara, and got underneath it, but good signs for Perth. Patient build-up, and they got a shot in the end.
That was really good play. And Galloway just getting caught ball watching there, and realised the run of Zara takes it, and he had every right to there.
Now Jamison breezing past Rojas and Selesky, and it requires the clearance of Mullen in the middle. Really good signs for the Glory down that left-hand side.
Oh, they look really sharp, the Glory players, shifting the ball well.
It's great delivery there, and chested home for the opener. Rio Nagai on target. Who saw that coming? It's the Glory who strike inside 15 minutes.
Well, it's brilliant play from Scott Jamison, and they've moved the ball well down both flanks. This time they come up trumps. An improvisation from Nagai. It's a really good finish, but it's all about the cross. It's tail, it's going away from Coe, who thinks of coming, and he just chests it into an empty net. Coe comes into no man's land. There's a great ball from Jamison. Doesn't try to beat Guerrier. And look at that, adjusts his body. Knows he can't get foot or head onto it, and he just chests it in. That's a really good finish. We talked about his end product last week. Really good, but in the final third, his final ball in, or his final touch, wasn't up to standard, but wow, that's a really clever finish.
Glory went into their round 27 match against Adelaide United knowing a point was enough to finish in the top 6. Looked in command of that game until a late equaliser from Jake Parker-Dash. Very nearly a winner too. Here's Rojas teeing up Broxham! And he slices his shot wide. Goal kick given. Lee Broxham doesn't score too many, and he won't get a better opportunity than that.
Oh, he's looking for the corner, and that's always a sure sign you know he's missed a sitter. Absolutely brilliant play from Rojas. We've hardly seen him. Forceful run in between defenders, sets up Broxham, hits it with the outside of his boot. Comes off the outside. Probably did take a touch. I'm not sure that was going in. I think it was still going wide, but it did take a touch, but it wasn't the finish he was looking for. Difficult to say. It's obviously a big decision, but the way Perth is set up, it looks like they need some sort of creative influence. Someone who drops in between those lines, and Flores, that's what he's known for. They've had plenty of the ball in the opposing half, but just haven't been able to break them down.
A few boos ringing out around Etihad Stadium. Rio Nagai, his goal separates the two sides as they head to the sheds. Wonderful improvisation to chest home the finish, and that's why we have this scoreline at halftime of Melbourne Victory 0, Perth Glory 1. Here's the visitors who get the second half rolling. Perth Glory with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of Rio Nagai with a chest finish. What do you expect from the victory, Robbie Slater? Would Ange Postecoglou have fired them up at halftime?
Well, I think he would have been reasonably happy with the way they control the ball. It's just in that final third, as we talked about, and I think it's a question of when does he put Flores on. I mean, the opening 10 minutes of this half is going to tell that story, but for Perth it was mission accomplished in the first 45 minutes.
Nice little back heel. Two of the stars trying to combine for the victory. Flores had a little chat with the assistant saying, "Are you going to give me a corner if I let this one roll?" He got the nod. And the Victory have their second corner of the night. Rojas delivery towards the penalty spot, and Shane Smelts yet another header. Counter-attack on here, advantage played to the Glory. It's a really good advantage too, particularly if this finds Shane Smelts. The Kiwi is on here. Shane Smelts this way and that. What a save from Coe in the end. Shane Smelts thought he'd done enough.
Well, it's a brilliant save from Coe. What about the transition from defence to attack from Perth Glory? They broke, and they broke with numbers. Wonderful vision from Liam Miller. I think Coe should be coming for that. I think he would have been favourite. Smelts comes back, works it onto his right foot. I think initially, if he has a good first touch, it would have been a better option for him, but it's a fingertip save from Coe that takes it past the far post.
Made more saves than any other keeper in the A-League, Nathan Coe, and perhaps none more valuable than that this season. Miller delivers and Coe can claim it first time. The man who came through the same club that spawned Diego Maradona, Argentinos Juniors, all those years ago. Another yellow card for Selesky this time.
An accumulation of fouls for Selesky, and I think what Selesky might be saying, though, there's been pretty much the same on the other side. A lot of Glory fouls, well, definite foul. Arm across the chest. Have no problem with the yellow card, but it's got to be balanced.
The cards against the Glory, two of them to Pandelides for that challenge on Thompson and Jamison in the first half as well, but none for the midfield trio. They've made their fair share of fouls. Miller's delivery, hanging it up, and Coe comes. Collision between Layer and Thwaite on the edge of the area too. Heffernan just couldn't bring it under control. That time, Miller with the challenge on his opposite number. Nagai into Smelts. Oh, he thrives on that kind of opportunity, and he couldn't keep the shot down, though.
There was a lot of pace on that ball from Nagai. Great vision from Nagai. Picked him out as well. Smelts, predatory. Got across his defender. He'll be disappointed he didn't bury that, or at least work the keeper, hit the target.
Well, Heffernan caught by Broxham. He's on a card.
Well, it's frustration time now for Victory. What they don't need to do is keep on committing these fouls. It just breaks the game up.
Of course, we'd be headed for extra time, 15 minutes each way, if the Victory were to come up with an equaliser. At the moment, Glory look every chance to settle it inside 90 minutes, and Jamison goes down, and it's a penalty. Perth Glory are going to have the chance to wrap this one up, surely from the spot. Mark Milligan cannot believe the decision.
Well, what about the clever back heel for Dean Heffernan, who must have had it in his mind to waste time. Forget about the run from Jamison. The Jamison and Milligan, it's a clumsy challenge. Jamison's not really, he doesn't really have this ball under complete control. He gets it stuck between his feet, but Milligan jumps in. It's a penalty. It's a clear-cut penalty. And it's a chance for the masked crusader to put the game maybe beyond Victory.
Yeah, Rio Nagai missed the penalty last week, which caused some heart palpitations against Adelaide United. But the regular penalty taker is back. 17 from 20 from the spot in his A-League career. Shane Smelts back off the bar, and the Victory are still alive.
Oh, will that give them some momentum now? It's got to. Smelts really snatched at it. See his body over the ball there? Really snatched at that penalty.
And the crowd right into it now, urging Flores on to the back post and just eluding Thompson. Still kept it in though, Archie. Found Payne. Riding the challenges, Connor Payne, and then thought Thompson wanted the ball to feet.
Wow. Well, is there another twist?
Now Flores winning the header. There's men in the middle. Naboo goes down, penalty given! What a turnaround in this game! Andrew Naboo, the substitute, wins it. They look gone if Smelts had converted at the other end, but instead, a chance for the equaliser. Mark Milligan is 5 from 5 from the spot in his A-League career.
Well, the header from Flores comes back in, and Naboo does well. Catches that on his chest. Is there a little bit of arm? And then Panelides, he doesn't need to get that close to him. Doesn't need to. He's facing away from goal. He's got his arm around him early there, and it's a red card.
Yep, Steve Panelides has been shown a second yellow, so it goes from bad to worse for the Perth Glory.
Oh,
you can't make it up.
You couldn't have written a script like this. Smelts with the chance to put the game beyond doubt. Literally, was it even a minute before? There's the second yellow.
And Danny Vukovic has got to watch his step as well. Steve Panelides making that long walk at Etihad Stadium.
And Milligan, now with all this going on around him, he's got to keep his composure.
The crowd around Etihad Stadium, everyone on their feet, ready to cheer on Mark Milligan. What a turnaround in this final. You could not make it up. Melbourne Victory level in stoppage time.
Absolutely incredible. And Mark Milligan, 5 from 5 this season. He keeps his nerve. He looks to the heavens, genuflects. Really good pen. Vukovic picks the right way, but there's too much pace. It's right in the corner. makes his decision, sticks to it. Great pen under pressure.
And just like in the grand final, it's a late penalty against the Perth Glory. And Danny Vukovic, filthy. He was so close to a clean sheet last week. And another one evaporates.
Yeah, his worst nightmare. He's missed the penalty. He's probably thinking, oh, well, there's only a couple of minutes to go. And they go up the other end instantaneously. And Nabu winning the penalty and the victory back in it.
It's almost as though the people walking past outside heard that the victory were back in this game, because the crowd seems to have swelled in stoppage time. And we're bound for extra time, barring something incredibly dramatic, because we're past the 4 minutes of allotted time. And the referee blows it up. Well, what a crescendo to this game. There's protests going on. Perth Glory talking to the referee, but he gave a penalty to the Glory. They had a chance to seal it. Shane Smeltz hit the crossbar. Then the Melbourne Victory went down the other end. They got a spot kick. Milligan converts, and we're bound for extra time. Full time, after 90 minutes, it finished 1-1. Flores trying to drop it over. Rojas is onside. Thompson waits in the middle. Archie Thompson! They've done it again! Rojas and Thompson in extra time. Victory in front. The turnaround is complete.
Well, it's brilliant play from the trio. Flores, Rojas, Thompson. Not the cleanest of headers he'll ever make, Archie Thompson, or has ever made, but it's enough to give victory the lead. Rojas has been well contained in this game for once, breaks the shackles, and he's got the awareness and the ability to provide the final pass for Archie Thompson. Now the ball over from Flores,
clearly
as it leaves, he's clearly
onside by the man at the bottom of the screen, not the man he's immediately
he's clearly onside. Then he's got too much pace and it gets away. The ball bounces away, but he still readjusts. Perfect ball to Archie Thompson, who just has to get anything on it, and it's in the back of the net. Vukovic is across the right side, but he heads it down and it bounces over it, despairing Danny Vukovic.
It's so cruel on this, the keeper. The replay, show it up here. He had it covered. If Thompson didn't get the height he did on the bounce, and the celebrations on the victory bench.
Well, they've been blessed tonight. Melbourne Victory. Absolutely incredible.
Oh, he nearly cleaned up his mate. That's what you get for giving me the assist. You get a one-wood in the melon. That would have been one of the more strange injuries ever seen in the history of football, had Thompson knocked Rojas out with the Big Bertha. McGarry looking for the flick on and layer.
Well, he found a little bit of energy there. He's given the free kick away. Oh, this is the last throw of the dice.
You've got to pay credit to the medical staff. Got the magical hands working to get Leia back out there. 1 minute of stoppage time being played. And Nagai limps after it. Well, give the blokes crutches out there.
Oh, here we go. That's a silly foul. It's a... Oh. Now, Delevsky's fresh, so you can't say that's tied legs. No, that's a real silly foul. And ironically, Perth from corners have scored the most goals, but they haven't scored from a free kick this season.
What a time to do it, eh? After the 120 minutes have elapsed. It's now or never for the Glory.
I thought we might have seen Vukovic up here. He's elected not to come.
That is a strange one. He has scored in the A-League.
Here he comes now. It's a late dash.
Well, is McGarry going to wait? Look at Vukovic storming into the picture. Toe comes. Referee checks his watch.
They'll have another chance, I think.
Got to get it in a hurry, Heffernan off the long run. Whistles all around Etihad Stadium. A final hope. Thwaite back across. Man down. And the full-time whistle goes. The Melbourne victory. March on. Ange Postecoglou with the Midas touch again. A perfect 7 out of 7 in A-League finals, but how did they do that? The look on Archie Thompson's face says it all. Perth Glory heartbroken again for the second consecutive final series. A controversial penalty ended up working against them. Mark Milligan converted in the 90th minute, an equaliser to cancel out Rio Nagai's opener. And then in extra time, the dynamic duo of Marco Rojas and Archie Thompson went to work. The best news for the victory is that they don't play until Sunday week against the Mariners. They've got plenty of time to recover, and they'll need it too. Full time after extra time. Melbourne victory 2, Perth Glory 1.
Extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary.